My name is Juan Carlos Águila Coglan, and I am one of the authors of the article Contrast of the Journalistic Coverage of Climate Change and Global Warming in Spain and in the international sphere, 4th and 5th IPCC reports and Bali, Copenhagen, Paris. This article was published in the Revista Latina de Comunicación Social, number 72 of the present year, 2017. The authors of this article are Dr. Rogelio Fernández Reyes, who is member of the research group Dialectic Mediation of Social Communication, MDCS, of the Complutense University of Madrid, and of the group Structure, History and Content of Communication belonging to the University of Sevilla. Dr. José Luis Piñuel Raigada, who is professor at the Faculty of Information Sciences of the University Complutense of Madrid and directs the research group Dialectic Mediation of Social Communication, MDCS. In my case, I am part of this research group and I have worked on it since 2008 to date. Our article is in the field of environmental communication and deals with the contrast between the journalistic coverage of climate change and global warming in Spain and in the international scope with the 4th and 5th reports of the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, IPCC, on the climate summits held in Copenhagen, Bali and Paris. In our study, we search to achieve the following objectives. 1. To study trends in the coverage of climate change and global warming in Spain and in the international space, and 2. To study the coverage of these issues in the months in which were published the 4th and 5th reports of IPCC of the Bali, Copenhagen and Paris Summits, and to compare the journalistic coverage in both cases. To study the trends in coverage, we used data from the Center of Science and Technology Policy Research of the University of Colorado in the United States from 2000 to 2017 for the Spanish case and from 2004 to 2017 in the international case. In Spain, these trends were extracted from the coverage of the newspapers El País, El Mundo, La Vanguardia and Expansión, while for the international coverage, 50 headlines from all over the world were considered from the newspapers which this center has been working at the University of Colorado. There is a high similarity in coverage both in Spain and internationally. In the first stage, there is little coverage from the year 2000 until 2006. Then there is a boiling phase between October 2006 and December 2007. At the end of 2009, the Copenhagen Summit attracted a great media attention due to the large arrival of political leaders present in the summit, and because the report An Uncomfortable Truth of Al Gore, that next to the IPCC obtained the Nobel Prize in 2007. Then there is a decline in coverage all over the world. From September 2013, there is a new phase of rise until December 2015, when the Paris Summit is held, which generated great expectations. That is also the year in which Pope Francisco publishes the encyclical Laudato Si on climate change, and from there the coverage stays at high levels. After the Paris Summit, there is a further decline in media coverage until the election of Donald Trump as president and his decision to withdraw the United States from the Paris Agreement in 2017, what caused a new increase in media interest on the subject. In the Spanish case, the newspaper El País reports the most on climate change until 2010, but by the end of 2013, El Mundo is the one with the greatest coverage. In 2016, La Vanguardia took the second place in coverage ahead of El País. The economic newspaper Expansión is the one with the lowest coverage. The high coincidence between the curves of international coverage and coverage in Spain of climate change suggests that the trend of the international agenda is a considerable influence on the Spanish agenda, following trends that overlap over time, influenced by the same events. This may be a positive consideration in the sense that climate change is addressed in a global way, but it can also raise the question of how far the problem of climate change is drifting into the international scope in detriment of what happens at the local level. We believe that the Spanish newspapers must maintain more continuous coverage on climate change and global warming over time in proportion to the increase in awareness of the risks involved. We defend that a commitment of journalism is required to promote a new culture based on sustainability and facilitate a cultural change and a global transition to a new paradigm.